dog. Get this shit. Oops. Nope. Okay. Post. Post. This? This? Thank you. Thank you. Oh. Why'd he decline it? I'm confused. Why would you do that?
Because you're a wiener bitch.
That's rude.
Yep. Oh my god. Oh, this game is absurd. I need this to be a fucking permanent item in the game.
Post has certain keywords. Well, what are the keywords?
Yo mama.
Interesting. Curious.
Just like yo mama. Curious about yo mama.
That's not very nice.
Okay.
Alright, well,
neither was yo mama.
I mean, that is fair. My mom's a fucking menace.
Okay.
And I say this with love in my heart, okay? But I have to be honest, my mom's a fucking menace. Okay. So that's good. Alrighty. Well, let's go ahead and let's do this. So, welcome everyone to the latest episode of the AFK podcast. I am your host, Afro Black, here with my co-host, my usual co-host, Marcos Portrait. Say hello to the people.
Idly ho gamerinos.
All right, I'm gonna need you to stick with that as your thing. Okay? Can you do that for me?
I promise nothing.
It's some bullshit. Well, we got quite a few articles for y'all tonight. Some really short ones, and some that I'm sure that Carter over here is going to be gushing over for a little bit. So, you know, plenty of content.
Video games.
Video games. Let's go over some of the shorter ones first. Let's see here. First of all, it was tweeted out by the Game Awards on the 31st, so Halloween, that apparently EA is going to be developing 3 new video games inspired by Marvel comic book characters, starting with Iron Man. As far as I know, they have not said the other 2 games, unless I'm mistaken, Carter. Uh-oh. Hello?
You're really choppy.
Am I really?
Yep. Let's try that.
Oh, my connections seem fine. Can you hear me right now?
That was better.
Okay. But yeah, so 3 new games from EA inspired by Marvel. Carter, have you heard anything about any additional games besides the Iron Man one yet?
I think the Iron Man one is the only one that they've confirmed so far.
Okay. Are you hoping for any specific games?
From EA?
Yes.
Not really. I mean, I just kind of hope they don't be themselves when they're making them. I do hope they get the responsible studios on deck for those, like Respawn.
True. Okay.
Maybe BioWare, depending on what they do. I would not be the least fucking bit surprised if BioWare is working on the Iron Man game, given that the last project they put out was Anthem. It really just feels like it's going to be and now that it's a bad thing, because like the gameplay from Anthem always looked really solid, but
that is fair.
Kind of looks like it's something that would be really easy to palette swap a fucking Iron Man game into, as far as the gameplay goes.
Okay.
I mean, people made comparisons about that as soon as it got fucking revealed way back when. So.
Let's see. What comic book characters would I want them to actually make? make a game about, I should say.
Black Panther and Captain America are getting that one game
That is
from
true. So those two are
I can't
out.
remember the studio, but and then Insomniac, obviously they're doing Spider-Man and Wolverine. So with that, I mean like X-Men and Spider-Man are covered. Um,
Mm,
trying to think like gameplay wise.
you think Doctor Strange would make a pretty good video game or no?
It popped into my head for a second, but I don't really know what they would do with him. It would need to be like it'd be cool if they went a lot further with like the multiverse concept that they barely fucking teased in Multiverse of Madness.
True. Okay.
They could really do some crazy fucking shit if they wanted to with that.
They could go balls to the wall.
Um,
That'd be pretty interesting to look at or to
yeah,
play even.
I was gonna say maybe Guardians, but yeah,
Um,
I don't know. Like the thing about that is most of the people that I would want to have a video game done for have already had a game done for them. Um, or you know, if you're fucking Spider-Man, they shit one out every 2 years. Um, I guess they've been a little more infrequent since Insomniac took it over, but I don't know. There's a shit ton of licensed Spider-Man games.
mm-hmm.
It would be interesting to see them do a Deadpool game again. The hack and slash game that came out a few years back was fun, but it was like pretty bargain bin comic book gamey.
Yeah.
Be interesting to like see a more I don't know, I hate using the word gritty to describe things, but like I don't know, maybe one that has like crazy fucking Devil May Cry combat, but it also explores the idea of him having a crazy fucking healing factor.
Yeah.
Because in like every single comic, he's pretty much tearing himself limb from literal limb to fucking do what he has to do. So I don't know, something around that would be interesting.
Fair.
God, yeah, I don't know. Like I'm even trying to think of like deeper, more niche characters that would be interesting to see. And I don't know. I'm kind of drawing a blank right now, but I don't know. I think Iron Man's a really good starting point for them. If they're gonna be themselves and do like a first-person shooter game, it would be cool to see like I don't know, maybe like an XCOM style game for like fucking Shield or like a PvP Shield versus Hydra thing. I don't know.
Honestly, I'm kind of stuck with you too. I don't. I'm trying to
I
think of
just
like some
like
decent heroes,
the
but there's so
thing
fucking
about it
many.
is like everything that I can think of that jumps to your head when you're like, ooh, Marvel video game. They've already fucking done it.
Yeah. I mean,
Like maybe that'll change as phase 5 and 6 roll out, and I'll be inspired to go, oh, that'd be fucking cool. But I don't know. Right now, there's not a lot coming to mind that they're not already that they haven't already done or they're going to do.
mm-hmm. I'm thinking of maybe like a Fantastic Four game.
Maybe they did make a 4-player like couch co-op beat 'em up game when the 2003 movie came out. That was actually pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. But I kind of want like a single player type of game going on though too.
Yeah, that's the
Like
thing. Is, like,
I don't really want like a co-op game.
no.
We'll have to come back to this because
Yeah, I agree. Do your homework.
do the homework a little bit before I
That'll
continue
be
on this.
question of the week next week.
There we go.
What Marvel games do you want to see?
Yes,
that are
sir.
already in
Yes,
production?
sir. But yeah, so that'll be interesting. I'm obviously based off of our indecisiveness on trying to figure out good game ideas. There are quite a few possibilities, but there aren't exactly a lot of good ones that are going to hit the numbers that they want. Let's see here. Moving on to the next somewhat short article is The Witcher also tweeted out on the 29th saying that it's official, The Witcher is returning for season 4 and Henry Cavill will be handing his swords to Liam Hemsworth as the new Geralt of Rivia after season 3. What do you think about that, Carter? You upset?
It's a dumb fucking idea. Just kill the show. Like
So he is not liking it.
The fact that they spent so much of the fucking hype and marketing of that show being the fact that Henry Cavill was fucking killing it as Geralt, to just go, hey, by the way, he's not coming back anyway. Here's the fucking One Direction guy. I just, it feels so fucking disingenuous. It feels like they're doing it just to keep the show breathing. Like, I don't know, do a fucking animated show. You guys just came off a crazy run with Cyberpunk Edgerunners. People loved that.
Well, not
Doesn't
only
have to be the
that, but
same style. I know it's not going to adapt like fucking beat for beat, but you could make something visual. Go for a Castlevania approach.
I mean, they came out with an animated, like anime style Witcher show, or Witcher movie, I should say.
Cool.
It's actually pretty good.
Do that. Netflix has literally done anime adaptations of video games to phenomenal success in the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Whether it's Edgerunners, which I haven't watched but I've heard is great. Castlevania is fucking fantastic.
I have heard that.
Fantastic.
My coworker actually binged watched that shit.
It feels really stupid for them to just recast it.
Yeah, especially this late in the game too. But I mean, I guess I should have seen this coming once they showed fucking Henry Cavill back as Superman in Black.
Well, yeah, no, the writing was on the fucking wall as soon as Black Adam came out, but
Still sucks though. Still sucks though.
I don't know. Hopefully James Gunn gets more use out of him.
True. Hopefully, anyways. We'll see. But yeah. As for my personal feeling, I'm not really appreciating it either. I thought that Henry Cavill was doing a pretty good job as The Witcher, and it kind of sucks that he got roped back into the Superman spiel, considering that they're probably going to continuously just butcher the fucking show. But
well, I don't know. I don't necessarily know that it was his idea to fucking, because the thing about Henry Cavill is he's a giant fucking nerd. So anytime he signs up for a role like that, it's because he wants to do it.
True.
Not because there's some giant fucking paycheck on top of it.
Yep.
I don't know. It doesn't feel to me like that should be a conflict of interest.
Like you think that he could have done both?
That would be the reason, but like there is no reason I can see on the surface that he wouldn't have been able to do both.
The only thing I can think of is obviously we don't know the filming schedule. That's the only thing I can think of would be a conflict of interest.
Maybe. I also don't think it's helping their case right now that there's not really a roadmap for anything going on at DC right now, given that they're kind of in the middle of a giant fucking power shift.
Quite true. The only thing that I can think of is The Flash. That's it. And, I mean, they're still doing filming for that, but, I mean, that has nothing to do with Henry Cavill.
I feel like Flash is going to somehow abandon everything that they have done up to that point in the DCU. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I just have this gut feeling that they're going to use Flashpoint as like a reset for the entire fucking DCEU. I think there's going to be select people that are coming back. Like, obviously, Henry Cavill's back as Superman. I don't think they're going to get rid of Black Adam or Shazam. I would be really fucking pissed if they recast Harley Quinn. She does a fucking phenomenal. I cannot picture anybody else as Harley Quinn. Truly.
No?
No. That's out and doing it right now. She is that fucking character.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Margot Robbie's phenomenal, and if they fucking use it to usher her out, I'm gonna be pissed. Really, anybody... I don't know, because like the thing is, for as much as I want him to just be like, yeah, fuck all of it, the amount of redemption that the characters in the recent movies have had, like I've heard the character of Black Adam's played really well in the movie. I haven't seen the movie to like make a call for it overall,
Yeah, I haven't
but
either.
I've heard Dwayne Johnson does a really good job. Margot Robbie is Harley Quinn the same way that Tara Strong is Harley Quinn for me. Henry Cavill's great as Superman. He just doesn't have a good script. I don't think the things that he's been in have been written very well for him. I really enjoyed James Gunn's Suicide Squad. I fully expect them to keep whatever characters that are remaining alive. I know they've said Peacemaker's coming back for another season. Yeah, I don't know. It's without really knowing what their plan is on either side, it's really hard to see any reason for them to just say, hey, he's not doing The Witcher anymore.
Yeah. This sucks ass. I'm not gonna lie. But,
Just do a fucking cartoon and get a sound alike. It's not that hard.
right. Just all of a sudden say, hey, we're switching to anime compared to live action. Good luck.
Fine.
But yeah, so in light of that shitty news, let's see here. Why don't we move on to something that we can hear this man over here rave on and on about? Mewgenics, the quote-unquote sequel to Binding of Isaac, is an infinitely expanding cat combat smash-up. Why don't you tell us about it?
So, for anyone who's talked to me about video games for half of a second, you will know that not only is Edmund McMillan my favorite indie developer, he is one of my favorite game developers overall. The quality and the consistency of the iconography of the games that he has put out over his career cannot be understated. If you don't know him, if you don't know who he is as a person, you are very familiar with his work. He made Super Meat Boy. He made The Binding of Isaac. He helped on things, I believe. Oh shit, no, I can't remember. Not Alien Hominid, that's a fucking behemoth. But basically, Edmund McMillan has been like the poster child for the indie game movement since its inception. And he has made some of my favorite games of all time, including my absolute favorite game of all time, The Binding of Isaac. He has been working on this game called Mewgenics for about 10 years now. And in doing that, it's like been really on again, off again for the last few years, but excuse me, he's been really hard at work at it with one of the lead devs from The Binding of Isaac since 2018. It's gone through a few different design changes, but what it is in its current state is a real-time strategy game or an RTS like Fire Emblem, where your characters that you are using in this battle are randomly generated cats that you are breeding with each other to get new cats with different stats and abilities and random effects.
Okay.
But it's also a roguelike. So you've got one part Fire Emblem in the overall gameplay, mixed with the roguelike of things like, Isaac, Spelunky, Risk of Rain. If you die, your progress is reset. You start from scratch. People know what a roguelike is by now. But there's also like a monster collecting, like Pokemon breeding aspect to it as well. But everything that you're breeding is completely randomly generated based on kind of the genetic profile of the cats that you're breeding.
Huh. Okay.
Which are given to you completely randomly.
It's pretty complex. Okay.
Yeah. So, and kind of going into the article from Polygon here, it starts out with a squad of 4 cats with traditional RPG classes like your hunter, mage, and healer. Each of the cats has different stats and abilities, so you might have one that's better at stealth, backstabbing with good movement speed. and then there's another one that hangs back and just does mage shit. In addition to their stats, their abilities, they've also got like a mana and a gear system. Like basically, honestly, the more I'm explaining this out loud, the more it's basically just like a D&D game, but your characters are again randomly curated cats that you breed with other cats to make new hybrid cats.
They need more power.
And they're also working in a lot of like weather aspects to it as well, like terrain aspects. For example, if you're on a grass battlefield and you've got a mage, light the grass on fire, fire's gonna burn so long as there's kindling nearby. Um, if there's snow on the grass, it will turn into like spikes, basically. That'll just damage you because the grass freezes. Um, Another example, Jesus, an example that they pointed out in the article here, during the playtesters session, one of the cats had the ability to poop on command. The poop doesn't do any damage, but it made a barrier to block ranged attacks until they realized the poop would go flying if it was hit by an enemy and damage the cat that was dropping the poop. So like, and he's got a knack for this too. Like if you watch 20 minutes of the Bite of Isaac, you'll know he has a knack for like combining the most fucking obscene, grotesque shit behind the most compelling fucking gameplay. It turns into a point where you're observing your entire battlefield, not only for like your typical, oh, fire burns grass, ice melts, fire melts ice, whatever, like fucking weapons triangle thing or like typical RPG thing. But you've also got these crazy fucking unique things that can happen entirely based on your cat's ability and how it synergizes with other things going on in the battle with the other characters, whatever. Another example that they do, he was fighting a giant mouse with sunglasses, which is a fucking Mario 2 boss, and that's great. He was able to get up to the mouse throwing the bombs and defuse them, but they were still on the battlefield for him to explode, not realizing that inside of these bombs there was still, bomb fixins. So he shot a fire spell at the mouse after the bombs were defused, did not remember where he was at on the battlefield, shot the defused bomb, and exploded and killed half of his team.
Oh boy. Okay.
So, as far as the gameplay loop goes, it's a combination of all of that shit. But because it's a roguelike, it's not really like one overarching game story like, hey, here's your goal. You're basically just trying to get through a run, which is you basically starting and trying to get to your house. If you are able to get a squad to your house, they'll take home some of the equipment and abilities that you get from your run that you can stack on the future or other cats for future runs. Depending on, and that's also kind of where the breeding aspect comes into it as well. Depending on where in your house your cat ends up from that particular run, they may be in the same room with another cat, and then they do, cat breeding things, which gives you the genetic offspring that has different abilities. Some of it's pretty surface level. They're like, oh, he looks like this. He's got his dad's ears. He's colored like his mom. But there's also going to be things like character traits and class abilities, actives and passives that are also being passed down to them, like Pokemon breeding.
Huh,
Um,
okay.
their goal with that, they have said, is to basically turn the breeding into a fucking obsession-based aspect of the game until you get a perfect killing machine. Again, very similar to fucking IV and EV breeding in Pokemon.
And you said he's been working on this for 10 years?
On again, off again for about a decade.
Goddamn.
Um, there are two key differences between breeding and eugenics and in Pokemon. For one thing, you can't breed the same super cat with every other cat in the house, because if you inbreed your cats too much, they'll turn fucked up. It's their excuse. They asked one of the developers about it, they got a quote from the article that says, quote, "I have a scientifically accurate inbreeding simulation coded into the game. I read a bunch of academic papers about dog breeding databases to figure that out."
Jesus. All right.
And then one last aspect that's really kind of cool to note: the cats that you are able to get to the house, the cats that you're breeding, working with, what have you, eventually they're going to die from old age.
Huh. Okay.
Before there's going to be a point where you can no longer send them back out to be in like the gameplay section. So there will be like a middle period where they might not be able to go out and be used for battle anymore, but you can still kind of use what little life they have left to potentially get some traits and aspects passed down to a newer cat.
Okay. So
But
basically,
there's
they just
going to
have
be
you
a point where
recycle
your
and
perfect
hopefully.
specimen dies.
I see. So then you have to do it all over again.
Right.
Okay.
It's like this article goes into so much fucking detail. It's a giant write-up, like the biggest write-up info dump we've had since he announced it initially. If you want to look at it, there's link as always. We've got the article posted in the chat, but so fucking excited for this game. They're shooting for an early 2024 release, so it's a little bit longer of a wait, but if I know anything about this guy, the fucking quality of the game is always worth the time that he puts into them. If you are curious about it, if this has piqued your interest at all, in addition to the article in the chat, I do know it's up for wishlist on Steam right now, and they go into a lot more detail on there with screenshots and I believe a little bit of gameplay as well. But
Okay.
I know there's not a lot that they've announced for 2024 yet in terms of games, but that is already my fucking most anticipated for that year.
This definitely sounds pretty fucking cool. I will say that much.
Yeah. In the meantime, if you're watching that, I'll fucking chill for him for another 30 seconds. I don't care. In the meantime, if you're looking at the style of game that he's got, you're like, wow, I want something like that in the meantime. Like I said, he made Super Meat Boy. I think everyone played that back in 2011. Binding of Isaac is a game that I have over 3,000 hours in. I will say it shamelessly. He's also made a game called The End Is Nigh, which is like a spiritual successor to Meat Boy. Legend of Bumbo is it's a Binding of Isaac prequel spin-off. It's like a match 3 dungeon crawler. There's a lot going on with that one actually. But I don't know. The man's got a lot of work.
Quite true.
A lot of games that are a really big time sink.
But
so I don't know. There's my 20-minute rant about the cat breeding game that I'm excited about.
love it. Let's see here. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is apparently the quote-unquote biggest PlayStation Store launch of all time for the COD series. Modern Warfare 2, as we all know, was released on the 28th of October, and it apparently had a massive / smashing launch on PlayStation. The company announced that Modern Warfare 2 has become the, quote, biggest PlayStation Store launch, unquote, of all time for the Call of Duty series. This includes both pre-orders and day one sales, Sony said. Sony did not provide specific sales numbers for Modern Warfare 2 on PlayStation. However, the game seemingly performing well on other platforms too, as of course. as Modern Warfare 2 ranks number 1 on the Xbox bestseller list and topping the charts PC via Steam as well. Let's see here. Video game sales across the industry are continuing to trend toward digital and away from physical, so it makes logical sense that Modern Warfare 2 would have set this digital PlayStation Store record. Modern Warfare 2 has also achieved this sales record at a higher price of $70, which is the new normal for AAA games. Just how well Modern Warfare 2 sold for physical copies relative to other games remains to be seen. Let's see here. And obviously, this isn't the only new Call of Duty game coming this year, technically. Warzone 2 is set for release in a couple weeks on November 16th. There is also a new Call of Duty Warzone mobile title in the works. We don't talk about that. Let's see here. This is all happening as COD's future remains uncertain, given Microsoft's pending acquisition of Activision Blizzard, the Call of Duty series, and all of the company's developers. Microsoft has pledged to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation for the foreseeable future, but the specifics are unknown at this juncture. It's been reported that there will be no new mainline Call of Duty game in 2023, and in its place, Activision is said to be developing a lot of post-launch content for Modern Warfare 2 to help make up for it. So, yeah. Are you surprised about that, Carter?
Can you hear him?
Hello. No, I cannot. I think he muted himself. I don't know what's going on. Julio, when the hell did you get in here?
I did mute myself. Oopsie
I
poopsie.
kind of came in and I didn't want to talk because I've been drinking and I have a slight blur.
That's fair. You missed my 20-minute rant about the cat breeding game from
No,
the
I
guy
came
that
about
made the
halfway
Isaac game.
in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I feel like that enhanced it.
Right on. Yeah, no, the fucking Call of Duty. I'm not surprised that it's top of the list, but I'm annoyed because it's the same fucking game and people bitch about it every year, 3 months after it launches, and this one's not going to be any different.
True.
I want new ideas, man. I think that's part of why I'm so excited about the fucking cat breeding game, because like, I don't know, yeah, it's pulling a bunch of shit from other games that people know, but like, name one game that's got the same fucking experience that game has overall.
Evolution.
Shut up. Eden McMillan, sponsor me, please. I will sell my kidney for you.
Please. I beg you. Fuck it. Let's use this. But yeah. I don't really know what to say about that specifically. As for, like, I guess speaking specifically about the sales numbers, the... God damn it. It's hard for me to do two things at once. One second.
No, it's not.
Okay. The numbers, I wouldn't even say that it's specifically because people are going more digital. Like, sure, there's a slow progression, but I don't think that the progressive or the random spike should have been so high that it set records compared to other titles that are literally exclusive to Sony. I think a lot of people were really hyped about this Call of Duty because they were hoping for some new shit, essentially. Something to...
Why?
I don't know, man. I was just seeing a lot of people getting hyped for it. I was seeing people hoping for new shit when it comes to Warzone. They were hyped about the fact that Call of Duty's trying to encroach on Escape from Tarkov's marketplace for FPSs. They were getting some, I want to say getting super hyped, but they were looking forward to the new campaign, obviously, because they want to see how they're going to do the reboot when it comes to Ghost. Ghost was, even though he didn't exactly talk a lot from the first iteration of Modern Warfare 2, he still is like a really big fan favorite. I don't know. I think there's a large combination of things and I don't think it's a majority because people are going to specifically digital over physical copies. I don't see that as being a thing. Um, as for I'm more impressed with the fact that people were it's set new records considering like it's at the new base price of fucking $70. To me personally, anyways.
That just goes to show the new quality of the game.
Yeah, tell that to all my crashes.
God
We
of,
aren't going to talk about that
God
though.
of War Ragnarok is only $60, and it's garbage.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, so that's a cool little bite-sized bit of news from Call of Duty. Setting records, but to be fair, it seems to beat the previous Call of Duty's record year after year, like for the most part, besides a few hiccups. So, I don't, I don't see this as anything all too crazy.
Be better.
Basically. Let's see here. Moving on to why don't we talk about the new VR2 that's launching in February, Carter? Why don't we talk about that?
Yeah. They finally showed off the PSVR 2, gave it a price point and a release date. It is set to launch in February at $549. Which if you don't know, that is more than a fucking PS5 costs. It's gonna be so cool. So today we are announcing Tuesday. When was this? The fucking 2nd, so Wednesday. I'm pleased to announce the PSVR 2 is officially launching February 22nd, 2023. It has a PSVR 2 Sense controller and charging station that will launch the same day. So they're doing their own special controllers instead of using the old PS Move controllers. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. It's a fucking HTC Vive.
Didn't they buy the rights to the Vive?
I don't know. But if you look at the fucking mock-ups that they've got, it's literally an HTC Vive with the fucking PS5 white console design. There are currently 2 pre-orders up. You can get just the set itself, no games or anything, for $549 US. Or you can spend an extra $50 and get a Horizon Call of the Mountain bundle. That will be a confirmed launch title.
Beautiful.
They have also announced that pre-orders for software, including Horizon Call of the Mountain, will be going up later in November. Pre-orders will begin November 15th. Players may register starting today from direct.playstation.com, with shipping the week of launch.
All right.
The PSVR 2 Sense technology includes key features that enable unique gameplay experiences such as headset feedback, eye tracking, 3D audio, and adaptive triggers and haptic feedback from the Sense controllers. Additionally, with enhanced headset-based controller tracking and high-fidelity visuals in 4000 by 2040 HDR video format.
Interesting.
That's interesting, yeah.
Throw a high number of pixels in there. We'll just call it good.
Yeah. There's also an integrated air vent for airflow and a lens adjustment dial for customized feel. Today, we are also pleased to reveal additional titles coming to PSVR 2 with fresh new reveals that are coming. Read our announcement here. Oh, so there's an article in an article.
Oh, we're going down the
Sorry.
rabbit hole.
Yes. The current list of confirmed PSVR games. So right now, they have already confirmed, there's the Horizon game. Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil Village was confirmed to get a VR release as well. In addition to those, they announced the Dark Pictures Switchback VR. It's a roller coaster action horror shooter, whatever that means. In 17th century New England. Okay. There is a Crossfire Sierra Squad. First-person shooter incorporates innovative features offered by PSVR 2 and is planned to launch in 2023. You'll be able to drop into the world of Crossfire in full VR, taking the fight to dimensions yet unseen. You will be fighting a seemingly endless enemy force with high AI intelligence. Okay, so it's a robot shooter. Okay, next one, they've got the Light Brigade. From the minds at Funktronic Labs comes a single-player roguelike filled with immersive gunplay and moody mystery. The world lies in ruin, and each passing day the light grows dimmer. Only you can offer the world a glimmer of hope. It's the last line of defense against the darkness. You will enlist in the ranks of the Light Brigade and journey into the sunken world as many times as it takes. Piece together from shattered memories, these procedurally generated battlegrounds are filled with enemies lurking around every corner. You'll be forced to strategically navigate through dense forests, frozen mountains, and forgotten graveyards with a rifle and light magic mechanic to keep the shadows at bay. This atmospheric experience is enhanced by physics-based gunplay, creating tense, heart-pounding shootouts. Climb the ranks of the Light Brigade through hard-fought battles and unlock new guns and unique spells. Save your brother in arms from within the sunken world to improve your headquarters and unlock new shops and classes. That one actually sounds kind of interesting. Next one, they are doing a VR release for Cities VR, or an update for Cities VR. It's a city builder.
Okay.
Looks like the big kicker with that one is it's a first-person city builder, so like one seeing it because you do it, which that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
That was always like my biggest complaint about city builders is I'm just watching it from above, so that's kind of cool actually.
Okay.
From the creators of Job Simulator and Vacation Simulator comes Cosmonius High. This is a single-player alien adventure where they take on the role of a Prisme, which is a rare alien species that can adapt to any situation. Players will be immersed in a highly vivid world of Cosmonius High with 4K at 90 frames a second.
I mean, that's better than 30.
Yeah, it makes me. I think I'll throw up playing that, so that'll be cool. I'll put that on my thing.
Yes.
Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue. I don't understand Hello Neighbor. I never have. I still don't get it. I don't get how they're still making them. Whatever. Jurassic World Aftermath. Sorry. God, my fucking throat tonight. Jurassic World Aftermath Collection. Oh shit. They're remaking Jurassic World Aftermath. It's a combination of both parts. I want to say this was like an on-rails arcade shooter, like from back in the early 2000s.
Okay.
It is fully voice acted as well. Narrated by Laura Bailey, and Jeff Goldblum does reprise his role as Dr. Ian Malcolm. Okay, I guess I'm not familiar with this. Because according to this, it like lets you walk around and you're like in Jurassic Park. So you're like up there with the dinosaurs and shit. That sounds really cool if they can get it right, actually. Next one we have got on here is called Pistol Whip. Pistol Whip, I think, has been out for a little bit. It is an action rhythm game. where you're basically gunning people down to the beat of the music. Every weapon's got its own unique firing and reloading. Yeah, there's I don't know. I'm struggling to find a lot to say about all of these just because I don't have a VR headset to play any of them. And then finally, Zenith: The Last City. Doesn't really say what it is, but apparently it's a well-known thing.
You now know a badass game title. Congratulations.
Almost looks like a fucking MMO of some kind. I don't know. It's hard to say.
I
Oh,
mean,
Jesus. No, I thought it was going in ABC order. There's still two more.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
After the Fall is a co-op shooter set in a post-apocalyptic LA. Team up with a squad of 3 others after setting out from a survivor camp that is shared with up to 32 players at a time. Or you can head out solo and take on hordes of mutants or bosses by yourself. Okay, so that's really the problem with these is it's 4 paragraphs per game, but 3 of them is just talking about how there's adaptive feedback in the controllers. Next game, Tentacular, which is apparently another game that's already been out. Tentacular plunges you into the ocean-dwelling hulk of a gigantic, mild-mannered mollusk raised among humans in the eccentric sea of La Calma. It is a physics-based adventure game bursting with innovative, immersive VR gameplay, a heartwarming story, and oodles of humor. Okay, kind of sounds like Octodad, but like
I've
VR.
never played Octodad. Is that a good game?
It's pretty crazy. It's an interesting game.
It's from that
It's not
era of
bad.
games.
It's
Like,
really charming, but yeah, it was like the era of, hey, let's make this fucking annoying as shit to control.
yeah, like Surgeon Simulator.
Or I Am Bread.
Yeah, I Am Bread. I Am Fish. Also a good one.
Oh, I never played I Am Fish.
It's pretty good.
Side note, Julio, my hand is getting a little bit outrageous.
Yeah, I see that. I'm kind of hoping that he decks you out.
Bro,
I'm not gonna lie.
I only have 19 cards left.
He can
Jesus
still
Christ.
go. He's got like another 3 he can do.
Oh my god. Alright. Anyways, how do you feel about the fact that this fucking thing is $550? Do you think that the hardware will like stand up to the price that you're paying for it?
My problem is I'm almost positive it is something that you need a PlayStation console to enjoy, as opposed to being a standalone thing. Like if it is an add-on peripheral to the PS5, it is fucking ridiculous to ask for more than the console itself.
That's fair.
If it is its own standalone, hey, this is its own VR console like the HTC Vive, I don't necessarily have a problem with that with all the stuff that's in the gear. I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb and I just haven't done my due diligence to see how that works. Oh, no, I actually just Googled it. The PSVR 2 is not a standalone, self-contained headset like the MetaQuest 2. You'll need to own and tether it to a PS5. Yeah, no, I don't like that.
Yeah, that's a bit ridiculous. Not gonna lie. All I can say is I hope that the hardware backs up the price. I don't.
It's gonna have to.
Oh, I didn't realize it. I completely forgot that this was second turn. Jesus Christ. But yeah. So along with hardware, I hope that alongside that, I hope that the games that they come out with will be varied enough and engaging enough to actually keep people interested. Because even though it's $550 for like hypothetically us to pay for, I'm sure they invested quite a bit of money into this fucking headset. So if it flops, I'm sure that's gonna hurt at least a little bit. What's this?
Yeah,
Controller
if it
chargers.
flops, they should just put their resources into something that matters, like rebooting Ape Escape. What do I know about video games, though?
That's fair. I like that. That's nice. Oops. Let's just do it, dude. Let's just make an Ape Escape ourselves.
Okay.
Let's just fucking do it, dude. Fucking send
Okay.
it.
I'm trying to think of a like rip-off name that we can make it.
Bloop a scoop.
No, because it's still got to be about ape catching. That's the whole crux of the game.
Gorilla Dash.
Nah,
Already a game.
it's got a rhyme. They got to know that it's an Ape Escape ripoff.
Gorilla Glue.
And that doesn't rhyme. That's alliteration, you idiot. Fucking, I don't know. Sony. I don't know. We'll workshop it. We'll workshop it.
We'll workshop it. We'll put it on the back burner for now. So yeah, that's an interesting price tag. All I can say is I hope that the price backs up the or the performance and shit and the engagement backs up the
Already
price.
said that.
I know I'm leaving the damn article. So, on to the next one from Mr. Game Rant over here. More specifically by Dare Bahan. Day one Xbox Game Pass game Atomic Heart reveals release date and new trailer. Atomic Heart's new trailer has revealed that the game will release on February 21st of next year, which is actually sooner than I thought. That's pretty good. Let's see here. Atomic Heart made a big splash when it was revealed all the way back in 2018, appealing to fans of shooters set in alternate versions of history similar to BioShock or Wolfenstein, with its bizarre take on 1950s Russia. The game made an even bigger name for itself when it appeared at the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase in 2021. Excuse me. Where it was revealed that it will be joining Xbox Game Pass at launch. Now fans know exactly when that will be. Let's see here. It comes from Russian developer Munfish and is the studio's first major title. The game is set to be first-person shooter with RPG elements set in an alternate version of 1955 Russia, in which the USSR has defeated Nazi Germany through advanced technology and robotics. This makes the Soviet Union the leading global power after the events of World War II. After reports begin to emerge of robots conducting experiments on humans in a secret facility, a KGB agent is set to investigate. Let's see here. Newly released trailer not only reveals Atomic Heart's release date, but more of the game's enemies and powers. Furthermore, comparisons to BioShock. The developer Munfish has described the game as way crazier than its competition, likely explaining why the game has suffered multiple delays since its reveal. The hell? Oh, there we go. Where was I? This thing randomly popped up. This seems to be the end. However, as the trailer showcases an optimistic level of polish and the release date appears to be set in stone. How do you feel about that, Carter? Because I know you were popping off about it not too long ago.
Yeah, I have been since it got announced in 2018. I'm really excited. If it were not for Spider-Man coming out next year, I would say it's probably my most anticipated game of 2023. Been watching it for a while. If you like Fallout, if you like BioShock, it kind of seems to be a little bit of the best of both. The gameplay, especially in the recent stuff they've shown off this year, where they really started pushing the game itself, looks like it plays very much like an updated or modernized BioShock. The world is definitely Fallout inspired. which I think is pretty influenced by the fact that it all takes place in Soviet Russia. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it that hasn't already been said. This is going to be one to watch out for.
True. I'm definitely gonna have to watch the trailer. I just remember the reveal trailer pop, or no, it must not have been the reveal trailer because I know I watched it like super recently. It wasn't the 2018 one, so it must have been 2021.
Well, they
But
put out a few this year too, so
did they put one out during? Oh no, they said the showcase.
they did one at E3 because it's a fucking Game Pass launch title.
For some reason, I thought that E3 didn't happen this year. I thought it was more showcase episode shows.
I
Never mind.
mean, it was technically showcases, but it was fucking E3, so.
That's fair. E3 is E3. Doesn't matter. But yeah, from what I've seen in the trailer that I watched, it definitely looks good visually, anyways. The robots look pretty interesting. But that's as much as I know. I find it interesting that they're like, instead of making Russia the enemy for once, they decided let's just make them the main character. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. What have you heard about it, Julio?
About what?
About Atomic Heart?
Atomic Heart.
Yes.
Why does that? That sounds familiar. Oh, you were just talking about it. I heard it just now. Anything you said just now. I told you, man. I'm pretty drunk right now.
So do you actually?
He doesn't know shit about it.
As a
Let's
matter
just
of fact,
fucking move
no.
on.
Sweet Jesus.
He
All
doesn't know
right.
shit.
Well, now your homework is to watch the trailer. That's all I gotta say about it.
Bitch, yours too.
I like
Hey,
Atomic
I've
Heart,
watched
so
enough
that-
trailers to at least be able to talk about it. Okay.
Whatever.
God. Okay. And I guess the last but not least, the cherry on top article of the night is reviews have came in for what the hell? What's this? Let's get rid of this. Reviews have started popping in for God of War Ragnarok, and they are looking fucking fantastic. I watched a 15-minute review on IGN by a British fellow by the name of Simon. That basically he was just gushing over the game. Was commenting that basically synopsis is if you enjoyed the first game, the 2018 God of War, you're gonna love this game as well. The game doesn't change too much when it comes to visuals or combat, but really it didn't need to. Fuck. Let's get rid of this. The combat was slightly messed with or tweaked a little bit just because they wanted to get a little bit more reminiscent of the games from like the first trilogy from way back when. So there's a lot more juggling in the game, a lot more use of the Chaos Blades and shit like that. I think the armor/gear system has been tweaked a little bit as well. Let's see. He also talked about the cutscenes are obviously beautiful, as well as the way that the camera centers on most of the fight scenes and shit makes it look like damn near a movie. The character development, from what I've heard, is pretty good overall. They've introduced obviously new characters, and they round those out pretty well, polish them up. Let's see what else. There are plenty. Apparently, there is actually a pretty strong post game. Shit that apparently makes the Valkyries from the first game look like child's play. Let's see. I think those are the only things that I can really think of off the top of my head. Have you heard anything else, Carter, that I haven't mentioned?
Not really, because I'm avoiding spoilers like the plague until it comes out.
Fair.
What I will say, pulling it up on Metacritic right now, it is sitting at a 94 after 122 reviews.
That's pretty good.
That's stupid good.
Hey, that's pretty good. Are you
Yeah,
happy with that,
I-
or do you want it to be 100%?
No, I. Nothing is perfect. I think a 95 is as close to perfect as anything could be. There's always room for improvement, I think. Um, I, I don't know. I don't know what more you could ask for. Every major publication is saying it's a 10. Not that that's anything to go off of, but the
I
fact that
mean,
there's not really anybody saying it's anything short of a masterpiece is all I need to hear.
I mean, I take the whole like 10 out of 10 thing with a grain of salt because I know IGN is pretty bad about borderline taking like paid reviews. I don't remember off the
I
top of
mean,
my
yeah,
head.
but
I don't remember off the top of my head whether or not GameSpot is another one. I know Game Informer in the past has been accused of it, and IGN has a history of it. So I mean,
the
I'm
thing
not
is,
gonna.
they're not the only ones
No,
saying
that's
it's a
not what
perfect
I
game.
mean, I'm gonna say that the 10 out of 10 is the issue that I see, because if it's not getting like, obviously it's kind of hard to get everyone on the same page about something in general, let alone how good a game is. But I mean, if there aren't like at least half of the critics saying that it's a perfect game on Metacritic, then I mean, it's kind of hard for me to believe that IGN would say, or to take the 10 out of 10 from IGN seriously. Now, am I saying it's a bad game? Not even close. Am I saying it's a perfect game? No, not necessarily.
Nope, he said it's trash.
All right, you're right. Fuck this game. Burn it. Don't
See,
support these
clip that.
creators.
Cancel him on Twitter.
Okay, bad.
Get us some rage clicks. Get us some real engagement.
Oh, you want some rage clicks? I'll get you some rage clicks.
I need you to shut up.
Yeah. If you want rage clicks, when you're done here, go to twitch.tv/Markov's Portrait and watch me shit on God of War 2018.
No, the game shits on him, actually.
Yeah, it's just the Valkyries. Just because I'm fighting the Valkyries under level.
Are you playing on hard?
No.
No.
All right, see, there's the rage click.
Yeah.
I just like the no.
I tried. I started on max and I was like, this will be fine. I'm good at games. I'm not good at games.
You gonna let Pro Gerard the fetishist beat you?
The man who makes his fucking living off of completing video games 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Easy.
think I'm gonna let him take that dub. I don't have any stake in that argument. Where's the fucking Binding of Isaac episode, Gerard? There you go. I'm calling out people left and right. You want to complete a game? Complete that shit.
I give it 30 hours.
30 hours speedrunning Isaac 100%.
Yeah, dude, he'll hit 100% pretty quick. I don't know about 1,000, but 100 pretty easy.
Are you saying like 100% like the in-game achievement 100%?
Nah, that's the joke.
Okay, I was gonna say because 100% according the achievement called 100% in Isaac is about 12% of the fucking game.
Yeah, I know.
All right. But yeah, so obviously we are looking at a very, very good game, very strong contender for game of the year, if not the game of the year. So yeah,
Isaac's pretty cool.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, that's all I really got. Carter and or Julio, did you guys have anything else you guys wanted to talk about?
I got one more quick one that I snuck in just because I'm excited about it and I love these games too.
Okay.
Today is Ratchet and Clank's 20th anniversary as a franchise.
Yeah.
These games are awesome. As a form of celebration for this giant event, Sony announced today that they are adding a ton of Ratchet and Clank to the PS Plus lineup. We are getting the original 4 PS2 games and future Tools of Destruction. They have also announced a free content update with armor sets from the games of the past for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Yeah, bro.
Ratchet and Clank kicks ass. You should play it.
Yeah,
I
do
love
it.
some rhinos.
Do it. Do it now.
That's all I got.
All right. Julio, you got anything else, bud?
I really like Marvel Snap.
Marvel Snap is pretty fun.
That is two
That's-
people now that I have heard say this.
Yeah.
All right.
Fun because I'm good at it.
Trash if I hate it. That's
Dude,
usually
fuck
how
the
it goes.
PvP update this winter. It's not
Can't
even
wait for
out
them
yet.
to
I'm already
add-
canceling it.
I want them to add the direct challenges already.
Yeah. Oh no, that's the what I meant, not the. It's all PvP, dumbass. Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna farm Carter.
You say you're gonna farm me? I don't like that. Can you not ever say that again?
What's that? What does that mean, Julio?
Yeah.
What do you mean? For the
Explain.
for the cosmic cubes.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
mhm,
Okay.
mhm, Yep.
I feel like I could take Carter and Snap.
You probably could. I don't play card games, so
Yeah.
you'd probably body me.
I collect them.
I think the only card game that I stand a fighting chance in would be the Isaac tabletop game.
That one's fun. You should play that again.
It is fun, dude. We should.
We should, yeah, we should do that at the next podcast.
Play
Actually,
Uno.
it's really fun.
Nah, bro, I don't
You
have
say
Uno.
play Uno? No, that would mean we have to get Uno.
And it's like, hold on, how
I
much
don't
is Uno?
fucking have Uno.
Uno
don't
is
have Uno.
literally $10.
Yeah, I don't have Uno.
That's fine. You can pay $10 and get it.
God, he's not biting. I'm gonna bail.
Yeah. Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
Oh, I hate you. Anyways.
Jesus Christ.
All right. I think we're going to go ahead and end it here because, frankly, we ran out of topics to talk about, and I'm fucking starving. So, if you guys enjoyed tonight's stream, make sure to drop a follow both here and on the socials. That way you guys know can get updates on what's going on with the podcast, maybe even like be able to interact with us a little bit, that good stuff. Join the goddamn Discord. Join it. That's how we interact even more with the people that actually watch and enjoy the show. And it helps build a community. It's pretty good. Make sure to go over and follow Mr. Markov's Portrait on Twitch, and he can give you his socials and all of his plugs. He streams pretty often, and if you didn't hear him earlier, he's currently trying to grind through God of War 2018.
Speaking of, if you want to follow now, I will be live within the next 15 minutes to play more of that tonight. So
there you go. See? Look at
we'll
that.
keep the party going.
Beautiful. Let's see. Any other plugs? Oh, follow or subscribe to the goddamn YouTube channel. That's where we put all the VODs. So if you want to introduce someone to the podcast, but obviously we aren't live at the time, you can point them to the YouTube channel. That's where we put all the VODs, so you can watch them again. So, but other than that, I think that's all I got for y'all tonight. You guys got anything? Say your outros. Do it.
Gaming.
I'm gonna need you to try harder than that.
Gaming.
That was slightly offensive. Try it again.
Gaming.
No, you're just calling a Chinese person gay. I don't understand.
That's
Damn.
how you want to read it.
That
That's
was
not
a
on me.
lot more offensive. Went
Yeah.
from slightly
You-
offensive to very offensive.
Yeah, you kind of just laid it out for everyone to see. I'm kind of impressed. Way to speed run your cancellation this episode.
All right. See you later, faulty fam.
There we go.